In this video, we're going to prove that the square root of 2 is irrational. Alright, pause the video, try it on your own. Alright, let's do it together. This will be what's called a proof by contradiction. We'll suppose that the square root of 2 is rational. In other words, that it can be written as a fraction where m and n are, positive integers, and then we'll derive an absurdity, And the reason behind that is, if we derive an absurdity, then it can't possibly be the case that the square root of 2 is rational. All right, so we suppose the square root of 2 is rational, so it can be written as m over n, where m and n are positive integers. I just, did this proof while I'm eating breakfast for fun, and I like to give myself a lot of things in this opposing line to give myself a lot to work with. So I also gave myself this. That this looks like the point mn, but it's short notation, at least my notation, for the greatest common divisor of m and n. So this says the greatest common divisor of m and n is 1. All right, so I indent under my supposed line like we do in coding, so everything under here follows from the supposition. So how do we get this? Obviously we just multiply both sides by n. Now here I square both sides, and we're done. This is the end of the proof, because we know that every positive integer greater than 1 can be factored into primes in a unique way. That means basically one and only one way. So consider the prime factorization of each side of this equation, and just consider any given prime. We're not going to consider 1 a prime because it's too simple, so 2 would be the smallest prime. Take any prime, let's just say 2, take 2. So how many times is 2, and imagine this just written as each side written as a bunch of primes multiplied together. How many times does 2 appear on the left side? An odd number of times or an even number of times? Well, an odd number of times, right? Because since this is squared, 2 has to appear an even number of times in n squared, so an odd number of times. And 2 appears an even number of times on the right. So 2 appears an odd number of times on the left, but an even number of times on the right.